Hallo, 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 wie geht's? This is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So this is going to be a soft spoken ramble. It's an ASMR video to help you fall asleep. Today I'll be speaking in English because I want to talk to you about why I like Germany and how I started to learn German. I've definitely not finished learning German. Mein Deutsch ist nicht so gut, aber ich möchte verbessern. So, I didn't have the chance to study German at school. We could only study Welsh, which is my language, from Wales. Ich bin aus Wales. Natürlich. Ich studierte Walisisch in der Schule. So, yeah, I started to study Welsh from about 3 years old, and then at 11 we started French. Französisch, ich denke. And we didn't get to choose German. It was very common at the time to have French or German. I'm quite old, so Spanish wasn't popular then. And so when I was 16 and I finished school in the UK, finished school at 16, I taught myself Spanish. I started teaching myself Spanish, and I went to college to study A-levels for 2 years, but I ended up staying for 3 Jahren. And they did German there, but I loved Spanish, so I studied Spanish, Welsh and French and English in college. But I'd already been to Germany, because when I was 6 years old, wenn ich 6 Jahre alt war, ich bin nach Deutschland gereist. No, that's not right. Gegangen. Ich habe nach Deutschland gereist, aber ich bin gegangen. I went to the Schwarzwald and we did some camping. So, yeah, I went to Germany when I was 6 years old. It's the first time I ever went abroad. So we were in Germany and I loved it. And my dad loves Germany. He loved Germany so much. So it was really weird, but when we came home, my dad didn't speak German fluently or anything, but we would always say, my mum, my dad, and the 3 kids, mein Bruder, meine Schwester und ich, haben wir immer zu Hause viel Deutsch never said it to anyone else, but we still say it. We still say, oh, Dankeschön and Bitteschön. I don't know, maybe that helped me to learn languages later. That I was just, understanding that languages just exist. Because it's difficult. I mean, everyone in Germany probably starts learning English really young, but in the UK you don't get exposed to other languages very young, which is totally dumb, very stupid. So yeah, I studied Spanish, and then I just realised I was whispering for ages, and this is a soft spoken video, sorry. So then I went to university and I studied Spanish, and I still hadn't been back to Germany, but I did a tour, backpacking journey, and I went to Berlin. We were there literally one day. We had to get round most of Europe, or Western Europe, in 2 weeks, so we didn't have long. So I went to Berlin, and I'll be honest, I didn't like it. I don't know why. I've been twice since. I really like Berlin, but I didn't like it. And I just totally forgot about German, didn't think about it twice. And in university I was studying Spanish and Portuguese and Arabic and Russian, and I was doing evening classes in Chinese and Japanese. Didn't think about German. And then I left university and I trained to be a teacher. Ein Lehrer. Ich war Lehrer vor 10 Jahren. 10 Jahre. In Spanisch, Französisch und Chinesisch. Ich weiß nicht. Chinesisch. Das ist nicht eine Sprache. Chinese. So, yeah, I was a Spanish teacher, and I taught a little bit of Welsh and French. And they had this sort of cultural link, a town twinning between the town where my school was and this place called Pfalzsassen, which is very, very far east in Bavaria. It was about 10 minutes from the border with the Czech Republic. So we used to fly in to Prague to get to Pfalzsassen because it was closer to Prague than it was to Munich. So I started learning German because I'd have to stay in the teacher's house. It was an exchange trip. So the children were there for cultural reasons, not language reasons. But the German kids were learning English, so it was good for them. So we did some basic German, like Hallo, wie geht's? Geht's gut, danke. Bitte, Dankeschön, auf Wiedersehen. That sort of thing. Zum Beispiel. And then I had to stay in the teacher's house, and his wife, he spoke excellent English. His wife was a nurse and she did not speak any English. So, zum Frühstück, like we'd sit at the table for breakfast, and they would speak in German, and then he, the teacher, would translate to me. So I tried speaking some German, and it was really fun, and I enjoyed it. And when I went back 2 years later, I had been studying German with a book myself at home. And habe ich das Buch hier. Nein, das ist im andere. What's the word for room? I can't think of the word for room. Zimmer. So what did I do? Oh yeah, so the second time I was ready, and I spoke lots of German with the wife of the teacher, and yeah, it was really, really cool. Actually, not just learning German, but using German properly, and having to think on my feet and use it properly, and not just, use it when I knew that they could speak English and just give up. If I went into a shop and I said, oh, möchte ich, and then I didn't know the word and I could just say it in English. I couldn't with her. She spoke no English at all. So, yeah, it inspired me to keep learning a little bit of German. So then I started to visit Germany quite a lot. I went to Cologne and Berlin, and I've been to Bavaria several times. Once to Tegensee, I think it's Tegensee, wherever the beer Tegensee comes from. I've been there. I spent New Year there, and I've been to Munich like maybe twice, and I've been to Waldsassen like 3 times, twice, 3 times maybe. So I've been to Bavaria like loads of times, Berlin twice, Cologne, I think I've been to Cologne like 4 times. I just love it. It's very easy to get to. I used to live in just north of London, and you could get the train to St. Pancras in London and be there in 20 minutes, and then St. Pancras went straight to Cologne in like 2 hours or something. So I could go from my house and be in Cologne in like 3 hours or something. It was crazy. And I love Cologne. I love everything about it. It's so big, but so little, and so chilled, and everyone's really friendly, and they speak good English, but they're patient if I want to try my German. And the food is good, and there's loads and loads and loads of places to eat and drink. There are like 2 amazing Argentinian steak restaurants there, and yeah, loads of pubs and bars and places to go in the evening, and lots of shops during the day, and yeah, lots of cool things to do. And it's right on the river, and yeah, we just really like it. It's really cool. And places I want to go, I'd love to go to Hamburg. I've never been to Hamburg. I went to Mainz once. I was travelling. I went to the airport and stayed the night, but I can't remember anything about it other than the restaurant. I think we had Japanese food. But did we stay in Mainz, or did we go somewhere else? Is Frankfurt? Ah, yes. Because the airport's in Frankfurt, and I think we had a hotel in Mainz, and we stayed in Mainz, not in Frankfurt. But I can't remember. And I'd like to see Stuttgart as well. I'd like to see Stuttgart. I've heard it's a very nice city. And yeah, just anywhere. Basically, like anywhere in Germany is nice. It's such a cool country. I think German people should be more proud of Germany. Basically, Britain is rubbish. And Germany's got like everything sorted. And I think that German people, and I understand why, I think that you don't quite realise how good it is to live in Germany. You should try living in Britain for a year. It's rubbish. Nothing works, everything's expensive. But that's a video for another day. Ich liebe Deutschland. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you've got any questions, then put them in the comments below. Click subscribe and like the video, which will really help push this video to be more popular. Dankeschön, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys really soon. I hope you liked the ramble video. Maybe suggest more things I can talk about.